Well, thank you for joining us on one of our holiday specials right here live in the Vault Media Studios at Cherry Creek Mortgage. We just survived quite the holiday event last night. And if you need to go online because you look at Gino and go, I don't know how well he survived.
No, I did okay, actually. I did great during the event. It was the after party that got us all in a little bit of trouble.
I missed that, and that's why you're going to notice Don's very sharp today. You just joined in on the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show with your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS, every Thursday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m., and please go to donandgino.com. Not all of you can stay in your car all day long, listen to us. I know you want to. But you can listen to us online, donandgino.com. Click on the Listen and Chat Live button, and you will see me in my nice Christmas vest. You'll see Gino in his goofy Christmas hat, and our wonderful guest, Mr. Rob Schwartz, with the Director of Community Outreach for Eureka Review, in his cool Lakers.
We can just get a win.
Yes.
Yeah, well, Kobe's back, but he's really not back. He's got some issues.
It's going to take some time for him to get used to Kobe back. I mean, he's kind of a big force, and they were kind of figuring out amongst themselves, and now they got to figure out how to get Kobe back. The only good thing, Kobe does make Gasol actually work, because before that, he might as well just sat on the bench. I'm sorry.
Aren't we trading Gasol?
We've been saying that for 5 years.
Yeah.
Anyways. Sports Talk on the Don and Gino Show.
So Taper Talk instead. Let's get back to Taper Talk.
So bottom line is Bernanke, for his last farewell speech, started to put the start to the end of the stimulus program, which is apropos because having Janet Yellen have to do it her first time at bat, next year would have been a little rough. He got to start ending the program he started and got to explain why. And it's basically his reasoning is the economy is starting to rebound, so we're going to slowly put the brakes on. So they did. They cut it by $5 billion worth of mortgage-backed securities and $5 billion worth of treasuries no longer being purchased. And then and that starts in January, and they're going to see what happens from there.
Yeah, well, I mean, we have to keep cutting this. I mean, throughout the year, as long as the economy continues to improve, they're going to keep cutting it and cutting it and cutting it. And the idea is that the private market will be able to cover the gap in those mortgage-backed securities, cover the gap in those treasuries. In fact, maybe some foreign countries will buy our treasuries again because now that they see that we're not stimulating them, if they stay in this region that they're at, we'll get some foreign investors that are happy with almost 3% on a 10-year bond.
Well, what also happens is when there's less volume, less people purchasing them, supply and demand, that means if less people are willing to purchase it, the only way you're going to get people to purchase them is to raise the return, which means raise the interest rate. So let's touch on that real quick before we get to Rob, because this is an important thing. We're going to say this in every segment for the next every segment, I'm telling you.
For the next 3 months.
This is the time to buy or buy your bigger home. This has nothing to do with us being part of Cherry Creek Mortgage. This is our job as the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show. 3 years now almost running. And our message is do it now because it is a buyer's market again. For a while there, it was not. And we'll talk about this more with our next guest as well. But it is the time to buy. It was euphoric. If you went out and tried to buy a home and you were getting beat out by 10, 20, sometimes 30 offers, you're getting beat out by investors and so forth, now is the time. It is a buyer's market. The market has, I guess, chilled, and now there's 2 to 3 times more inventory than there was. You can negotiate a little bit, but don't get crazy in the negotiations. It just means
you can't be greedy. It's a little better for buyers. It's a lot better for buyers.
It's a lot better. Bottom line is you don't have to. Right now you can get pretty close to the asking price. For a while there, you had to offer more. You had to offer between 10 to 100,000 more for a home just to get it, and you had to sometimes buy it sight unseen before it disappeared. What's nice now is you can look around. You can look for your dream home, and you can in most cases get the home for the asking price, maybe even less. Like I said, don't get greedy, because what's going to happen is spring's going to kick in, and spring is going to reignite this fire for homes like you can't believe, and you're going to be back in that same situation trying to find a home, trying to get a home, and what's worse is rates are going to be up, so your purchasing power is going to go down. So please take our word for it. If you're going to buy your first home, beautiful time to buy. Because when those values go back up, it'll be your equity. too, if you're even thinking about buying a bigger home for your growing family, or to get to a school district you want, or to get to the neighborhood you want, now is the time. Do it now, because in a lot of cases you can actually move up, take the equity you've gained now, because we got gained equity, beautiful thing we're talking about. Take that equity, put it towards a new home, and your payment probably won't even change that much.
Especially if you had mortgage insurance on your first loan, on your original home, and now you have enough to put a large down payment down so you don't have to have mortgage insurance again. It's a great time.
All right. So, okay, we'll get off our soapbox. We're going to get back into what you're really here for, which is to hear from Mr. Rob Schwartz, Director of Community Outreach for Eureka Review, and an independent college counselor for Total College Planning. Quite the long resume, Rob.
Well, you know, I got to tell you, fellas, I've been really fortunate to be a part of Eureka in Princeton, going on now 7.5 years as a test prep director, and then found sort of a backdoor way into being a college counselor, which I'll tell you is a true passion of mine.
No.
Working with young people. Well, yeah, you know me well enough.
I do. You never stop talking about it.
Well, I was at your party last night, and what was I doing? I was talking with a young man about preparing for college.
Yes.
It is just something that I love to do, and I've gravitated to it ever since I started a little over 4 years ago.
Very cool. Well, we're stoked. We're very fortunate to have you part of our show. And what's really cool, when you listen to Rob, you can tell he's very educated. I mean, he can talk very articulately about college planning. I mean, this is and I love it because he's part of the two schools I love, which is Cal State University, Northridge, go Matadors, and UCLA, woo!
Go Bruins.
Go Bruins.
Yeah, go Bruins.
So my two favorite schools in the world. Bottom line, and Rob is also part of those. But he has dedicated his time to helping you, your grandchildren, your children, do a lot better job with their SATs and ACTs and explain why and how to get into a better college. So let's talk about preparing for spring SATs and ACTs, because they should be thinking about that now, should they not?
Certainly, if you have a junior in your household, an 11th grade student, the sweet spot for at least 80 to 90% of the kids who are in their junior year is a second semester exam for either the SAT or the ACT. The beauty of the modern system is it doesn't matter which one you take. Colleges, by and large, and when I say by and large, all but maybe 4 or 5 in the entire country out of 2,300 schools are going to take the best score you give them. SAT or ACT. Doesn't matter to them, even though the exams themselves are dramatically different tools. The SAT, for instance, it's a reasoning test. It says so in the name of the exam, the SAT-1 reasoning test. Its goal is not to have kids regurgitate what they learned in school. It's to demonstrate a completely different skill set, which is critical thinking. And last time I checked, our high schools don't exactly get an A in that department. So it's a coachable exam. The ACT is a curricular knowledge test. Show me what you learned in your classes. If you took those challenging honors or AP classes, you should be able to do reasonably well in the ACT. You've been trained for it naturally through your schooling.
So what's cool is that depending on your mindset, like how you learn or how you retain, you might be able to do better at one test versus the other.
It's certainly possible. I would say about 40% of all the students in the United States will show greater than one standard deviation better on one exam versus the other.
Because I know you've worked with students and basically said, we've been trying to get Johnny to do better in his SAT, trying to get Johnny to do better in SATs, and you basically walked in and go, have you thought about the ACT? And had him take the ACT and score substantially better.
It's happened on numerous occasions, and everyone in my office knows, what are the telltale signs, what are the things you should be looking for on our side of the desk to try to help a family realize their potential. The number one thing I will tell any of your families, Donna, Gino, is get in front of a practice test. Do not just go out and take the first test you see cold. You're opening the door to more trouble than is worth. Get in front of a free practice test. Nearly every company in this industry will offer you one for free. I know mine will, so give us a call, email us, let us know, hey, I'm really interested in finding out about this ACT. Maybe I am better at it. We'll take it not for real, without any preparation. Take it cold as a practice. Let's find out where you're at and help you then plan out the next steps so you can navigate this process with less stress and much greater success.
Well, Rob, you mentioned that people could get a hold of you via email or phone. Can you tell them how to contact you?
The easiest is certainly, because I'm literally on the road constantly at this point, email is almost always the easiest way to get in touch with me. My email is Rob, R-O-B, at eurekareview.com.
Easy enough.
Woohoo! I like saying that. Eureka! All right, Eureka is going to be for you. Meaning we're going to go through a little bit more details about the SAT and ACT. How does Rob help your students or your children get better scores? And also, what do you do if you have not filed yet? You're too late on your admissions for college. What do you do? We're going to find out when we come back to the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show on a holiday special with Don and Gino. Don't go away.
In the drum beat, there it comes.